Welcome to another episode of Blacktop Legends, where the legends of the asphalt industry tell their story in their own words. Some companies are started, others are built to last. Huntington Paving was founded in 1957 on Long Island, New York. 3 generations later, it continues to serve Long Island and parts of Connecticut with the same grit it was built on. Their grandfather started it, their father carried it forward, and today, brothers Scott and Danny Brown are leading the next chapter.
That's right. They're not just continuing a legacy, they're building on it. 3 generations, one name, still raising the bar. In this episode, we talk about family, leadership, longevity, and what it takes to keep moving forward in an industry that never stands still. Scott and Danny, welcome to Blacktop Legends podcast.
Welcome, guys.
Thanks, man. Thank you for having us.
Oh, it's our pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so we'll jump right in. The first thing we want to ask is, your grandfather started this in 1957. So when you walk onto a job site today, does that history feel like pressure or motivation?
I'll just start right off, and I'll say I don't necessarily feel any pressure from that. Definitely 100% motivation. When our grandfather started the business, he wasn't necessarily had the luxury that we have today to say, what are we going to build and make this business? What's it going to become for my kids? What legacy are we going to leave? Which might be the things that me and Danny think about. But, our grandfather was really he's a working guy. He was happy to make a living. He didn't have the luxury to be like, what's this going to become for the next people? So we're definitely grateful.
Right.
I would say.
Awesome.
Yeah, for me, I would just say that I take a lot of pride in it,
Yep.
It's pretty much
Continuing
it.
on that legacy from your grandfather and then your father and all that. Now you boys are running the show.
I mean, if I could give a little background on my grandfather,
Yeah.
like speaking about not having the luxury of thinking about legacy and building something for not, me and Danny like to think of it, we're building something for our employees too, so that they could raise the bar for themselves, give them somewhere that they can achieve the goals of their lives. Our grandfather was orphaned as a kid and went and lived with his uncle in Vermont on a farm. And long story short, he was not a good situation for him, and he ran away from that and moved to Bayside. Met my grandmother when he was young. They moved to Long Island, and he started just working. And he started to see, I can make money doing blacktop, and he started doing blacktop. And it was really a means to an end. He wanted to ride horses on the weekend and do his fun things. So he wanted to just make enough money that he could enjoy himself. It wasn't about building anything or going anywhere. It was about getting off on the weekend, be with your
So
family.
he was just doing it for the day, for the week, to provide for his family, and not so much knowing that it would be so long in business so many years later, decades later.
That's
right?
right.
It was just for then. That's interesting. And I wonder how he came across blacktop back then. Like, just stumbled upon it and said, this is what I got to do, right? Everybody has a different way, the way they got into the industry. But yeah, it's interesting how people stumble upon blacktop and asphalt paving.
That's right. And then my dad started working with him when he's 16 or so. My grandfather didn't really know the business side of things. He understood I needed to make X amount to cover this and that. And then he saw my dad at such a young age really taking a role in those things. And he allowed for him to go ahead and take the reins at really a very young age. And all the kudos to my dad for what he definitely has built from then to now. And it's an honor is what it is.
So your dad saw the opportunity and what's out there and what's available, and he took it to the next level.
Yeah, like back then, I always say to my dad, because, we have such a labor force issue everywhere in the States. And I always tell him that, like, you had the better people, we have the better equipment, the technology, and it's still very hard to do, with all the upgrades that we got nowadays. So we're lucky.
Right.
Based on
that's
that,
a good point. No, I just want to say to Danny, that's a good point, because back then, the workforce was different. Maybe there was more people willing to do asphalt paving and this hard work that's involved. Whereas today, but they didn't have the equipment. Whereas today, you have all the technology and the equipment to help you guys along. So that's a really good point.
Right, they're making things dummy proof nowadays. I mean, they're gonna have autonomous rollers and pavers, and they're gonna get rid of it.
Man, I know I've seen some of those
Nah.
videos on Instagram, or we were just at Con Expo, and you're seeing like
Yeah,
paver machines being operated with nobody or rollers, and it's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, again, like you'd have to. That's a whole setup. I feel like you'd have to mark out the entire field, and then like whatever they'll start on it with the roadways and whatnot, straight line paving.
right.
And
Yeah,
it'll take a minute to get a robot to do what we do.
yeah.
Speaking of all this, like what did growing up around the business teach you that you didn't appreciate at the time that you maybe appreciate today? Like what does the name Huntington Paving mean to you personally now compared to when you were younger?
Everything different. I mean, when I was a kid, I didn't value hard. I saw my dad working hard, so I did value it. But I definitely thought that there was other ways to make a living or easier, routes that didn't necessarily require so much labor. And as you grow up, you start to realize the only way to get from one point to the other is, for us, is hard work. One foot in front of the other. You're not going to accomplish everything that you want to set forth in a year in one day. But you definitely, if you put one foot in front of the other, we can smack some things out of the park.
Definitely.
Love that.
I think like a lot of people, it's a misconception. A lot of people think that things come easy. Doesn't matter what industry you're in.
You gotta
put in the hard work for it to pay off, right? Otherwise, like a lot of
That's
people,
right.
they look on social media nowadays. They think
Yeah.
everything's easy, attainable. They see all the
It's amazing.
cars and the trips and the jets and everything, but they'll never do the work.
For me, I would just say it was like more just like a growing thing. Like Scott said, it's like I never thought anything came easy, but I would probably say it's just more of a human being growth pattern where your brain develops and you think different ways. Maybe it could have been easier, but when you're in like this business, it's takes a lot from you.
Oh yeah.
Asphalt paving contractors and guys in the field, they're built differently. That's for sure.
And again, it's an honor to be like that.
Yeah.
And if we don't do the hard work that's required of us, all our competitors are, and that goes for any field that you're in. Even in you guys in marketing, a plumber. If Danny and I, obviously, all of us have friends in every different trade throughout that you could think of, roofers, and it's all the same thing. Either we're improving or our competitors are improving before
They'll
us,
take
so
over.
better choose one.
Didn't
Exactly.
you? I loved what you posted. I think it was like the 1% mentality or whatever. You gotta work 99% of the people in the world, and
You outwork them.
about
Exactly.
that though, it's not. I don't think it is that hard. Like, yeah, you just got to get up. You got to grind every day because there's so many
Yeah.
out there. Like you could just zip line past them. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's like the saying, if there's a will, there's a way. You got to have that.
Yeah,
You gotta have
all
that
those things
will.
ring true.
That's it.
Yeah. And the 1% analogy is really showcases that. And then also I talked to some other paving contractors, one guy who's in Arizona, and he had some explosive growth. And I said, how did you do it in such a short time? He goes, you just got to give a shit. That's what he said. That's his motto. You just got to give a shit.
Well, that's a big difference between most people nowadays. A lot of people want to use also motivation of like just money itself as your end goal, but you have to enter into every engagement with a customer, no matter what field you're in. Like, how can you help them? If you solve their problems first, the money is coming.
Exactly. And it's an initial conversation, then making the sale, and then the service you guys provide, the quality you put out, everything has to line up the same and be part of that 1% that 99% others are not willing to do.
That's right.
Yep. Awesome. So every long-standing company has a season that tests it. What was one season or year that really stretched and shaped the business? Can you remember one year that really stood out to you guys, whether it was tough or
last year
not?
was pretty tough
or pivotal.
We had some key members left during critical times, and we just always find a way. You know, we really do. Like, we're resilient. We're like weeds. We'll pop right through the blacktop. So
Yeah. For me, the first season that comes to my thought is COVID.
Yeah.
That was the most challenging time, I think, for us ever. I'll speak like personally, it was super challenging. All the things that dealing with your kids and living life.
And still operating the business.
Yeah, so that was the most challenging. Definitely thought at the time, like, the world, I mean, I know on Long Island, people were getting crazy enough that they were telling the landscapers at a huge property, you know, of 50 acres, don't cut the grass just for these next weeks. We don't even want you on our property.
Wow.
And then you start hearing those stories and you're like,
yeah,
they're telling them not to cut the grass?
yeah.
Are we ever going to go to work again?
No, you're
You know
right.
what I mean? So that was definitely the scariest time.
Yeah.
And thank God everything's good. You know, it was, who knows what happened. We're through it.
You know,
Go ahead.
again, yeah, challenges that popped up after COVID. We do seal coat, right? None of these parking lots got driven in, and they're still working, like, you know, from their homes and stuff. You don't know how much weed killing we had to do. We had to get backpack sprayers. They want this area crack filled. I'm like, what? It looks like a lawn. And yeah, no, we had to get backpack sprayers with the battery packs. Those are awesome, by the way. And then we would kill them, let a day or two go by with that good glyphosate stuff, and then we would burn them with torches after. You know, it's like, it was such a process.
Right.
And we're talking, that's like, it was probably like 2022 we did that job. So those areas just were never driven on. The traffic allows for weeds to just grow everywhere. It's amazing, actually. It sucked.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. So the fact that they
Oh,
weren't used, you saw the weeds
nightmare.
coming out of the cracks and all
I
that.
did not want to do that job.
It's like the abandoned buildings you see today.
The
You see an
abandoned ones, yeah.
abandoned
That's
building,
exactly
and
right.
the weeds are all coming through the
Yeah, it
cracks,
was
right?
So
Yeah, if we just stayed home for a few more months, it would have become
the I Am Legend thing.
Legends.
I know.
but yeah.
I Am Legend. It would have been I Am Legend if we stayed home for a few more months.
Um,
All right.
guys, when you guys drive past a finished project years later, what goes through your mind?
Um,
I'm telling my wife, like,
yeah,
what
for
do you
me,
think of that parking lot? Looks
the
good, doesn't it?
ones that stick out
Yeah.
to me are just the ones that we did like as a little kid, because those were the ones that we really like looked on things a little differently. Instead of like running the job, we were learning so much on those ones, man. We used to love like going on the rollers when we were little kids because they had an engine on them. So those are the ones that pop out to me.
That's
Right.
cool. So, like, when you drive by these
Yeah,
buildings, it still
100%. Yeah.
brings you back.
We got
right?
pictures of us, like, we wanted a
That's
bike
cool.
when we were younger. Our dad like made us work, you know, a few weeks in the summer, go out, blow off parking lots. We have pictures of all that stuff, the good old days. But yeah, they definitely instilled the work ethic in us that I'm grateful for, because my dad and my mom did that for us, and I'm trying to do that to my children. And I think that's just like how you build a good American, is by culture and work ethic, and morals, obviously.
Well,
Yeah.
well said.
You could even build good Canadians that
Americans
way.
now.
There you go. Follow that process. So one thing I wanted to ask is, we're talking about different jobs and all that. Is there a specific job or moment over the years that still stands out to you? Maybe a record day in tonnage, or something else that stands out?
I have one. I don't know if I want to share.
Yeah, I mean, I do have one as really close to like the COVID time, and it's actually funny because I went in a meeting with a customer who I had worked for years, and they own a huge 4-level parking garage. And I just afterwards went on to the top of the parking garage, and I was looking around, and it was coming out of COVID, right? So it was like, you know, there wasn't a lot of work to be had. And I was looking around, and you just saw all the land, all the parking lots, everything that you could see from the distance. And I just thought to myself, we should never, ever be slow. I mean, look at all the things that there are around here that need pavement.
Right.
You know, and it just gave me a different perspective. And the funny thing about the story is I had been working for that customer for years, but being on Long Island and there's always people chasing your customer or breathing down your neck. I lost that customer. Not, you know, I didn't know that day when I was standing on the roof looking all over for other blacktops that needed work. And I wasn't up there for that. I was up there to simply clear my mind, clear my head is why I was up there. And long story short, I lost. The next job from that customer, I ended up not getting.
I remember you telling me
we've done better ever since. And it was really just
I remember
from the perspective. I don't
want
need
to
that
name
person.
the project, but yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you realize all the opportunity that was out there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's right. We're on Long Island. You know, there's 2.5 million people.
Yep.
So there's nothing but opportunity. So that's how you got to look at every single day. Like, not, oh, I lost this job today. It's like, good, there's 5 more. I better go get one.
There's all kinds of opportunities. Sometimes when I use like Google Maps, if I'm driving somewhere, like for directions, and you just like, you know, it shows like the earth view. Oh, there's asphalt everywhere you're going. Not just the roadways you're on. It's the commercial properties, the residential, everywhere you go, there's blacktop. So there's always, whether it needs to be maintained or reconstructed, there's always something to do.
Yeah, the ones that stick out to me the most are when disasters struck. And like I have a really good memory when it comes to job sites. So like I'll be like, oh, we paved that 10 years ago or this or that. Like those ones I just remember driving by. But the ones that stick out to me are the fires, you know, like actual fires.
Like
Like we had a guy under a parking garage again, and we're cleaning a job site to get it prepped for sealer, or maybe it was just a sweeping job. Either way, blower, and he's filling the thing up, and the gas goes on the engine and up in flames. And I get a call, and I'm like, boy, you know, like the blower went up in flames. The whole fire department was there, and those are the calls you don't want to get.
Right. And I've seen you guys have done some jobs at nighttime too, where you got like the lights going and whatever you need to do to get it done too. So
yeah, we like, you know, I think our customers, maybe it's not even necessarily the customers, but just living on Long Island, how some of them require you to work at night. It's just getting more and more demanding. That's all I'm trying to say.
Right. So if a potential customer of yours is watching, just know that Huntington Paving is willing to do whatever it takes to get the job done, whether it be during the day. And if it's possible at night, they'll come out.
Yeah.
Right.
If the counties will let us at this point, because now even North Hempstead County, just by us right now, they made a law, I think last week, that there is no, even Saturdays, you're not allowed to work in North Hempstead on Saturdays. So unless you have a permit or it requires like, you're doing it for the betterment of the community.
Yeah.
Right. So
it's crazy.
That's for a municipal job, or even if it's a commercial job, you're not allowed without a permit.
Yes.
So both, and nighttime is being affected as well. Like you have to have a permit at night.
Yeah. Nassau
actually, their rules. Yeah.
And like,
their rules, even in that legislation, they show specific hours of work. Right, you're working from even during the weekdays from 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. at night.
So like that's one of the jobs that would pop out to mind, right? I have the big mill machine there, the whole crew, it's freezing.
Mm-hmm.
So like we have the time clock against us as well because we're shutting down soon. And, you know, they pull up and they're like, no more work. And I'm like, I have all this manpower here. You just lose money, you know? So it makes your life hell. Sometimes you have to take these gambles though. So it is what it is.
Yep. You got to do what you got to do. It's not always as smooth as we want, right?
No.
That's exactly right.
As long as the finished product is smooth, as long as the pavement on the ground is smooth, everyone's happy. We'll make that part smooth for sure.
As a baby's butt.
Yeah, exactly. We'll deal with all the headaches.
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, you guys have been around since 1957 and that's a compliments to you guys for the company. Now we're in 2026 and you're still going strong. In your opinion, what separates a paving company that lasts from one that doesn't? So you guys have really been around for decades over decades. So what do you think?
Consistency
from one that
sure.
doesn't? Consistency. Okay.
Consistency and like
Consistency.
Doing what you say you're going to do, follow through, all of that matters every day. So consistency, following through, doing the right scope of work that you're getting paid for. Those things, not cheating.
Which you guys pride yourselves on that, right?
Of
Because that's your
course.
tagline as well.
And we're also very transparent with the customer.
We do pride ourselves on that because that's the only thing that we have
Right.
essentially, like is your last job and the fact that you keep your word. And you know, when the customer's not looking, you're not trying to do something to make yourself extra money. It goes back to what we said sort of in the beginning, that our first priority is to figure out problems for our customers, and the money will come. They want to pay you to figure out their problems. If you could figure out the problem, then they're perfectly willing to pay you.
Exactly. You're the solution to their problems, and as long as you don't give them a hard time while you're doing it, then the more times than not call you back to do it again, right?
That's right. Like what Danny said about getting shut down in the middle of the night. We're not calling that customer at 2:00 in the morning, crying to them, complaining that we got shut down and letting them know of our problems. You know, then we'll obviously may have to communicate that to them the next day when they see something didn't happen that we had agreed to. But for the time being, it's our problems are our problems. We'll navigate them as good as we can. Hopefully we don't translate that to our customer, make it a problem for them. And we do the best job that we can to mitigate that.
Yeah, and making decisions, key decisions on the fly. In construction, you have to. You always hit a roadblock, and you got to just skirt the other way. You know what I mean? Like you have to adapt.
Exactly. So, how many years are you guys now? 1957. We're 69 years.
You don't say.
That's right.
Wow. So these are the gentlemen telling you what it takes to get almost 70-year-old paving company, what keeps it long lasting. And thanks for those tips, guys.
Oh yeah.
Just to be clear, we haven't been here the whole time.
No, they're much younger.
Benjamin
And,
Button
how long
over
the
here.
company's- Or you guys look really good for your age. One of the two. You're
Pride
defying
myself
all
on
the
that.
odds. That's awesome.
Guys, I'm going to have some fun with you right now. And be
Yes,
honest.
sir.
What's one thing about working with your brother that works really well and one thing that drives you crazy? Let's start with you, Scott.
I was going to say let Danny go
Okay.
first on that. That way I could tagline him.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding. I'll go first. I mean, what's one thing that's the best? I mean, he's my brother. We have each other's back for no matter what. I know for sure if we got things going on personally, I could tell him, boom, he'll take it for me. Same thing with whatever he's got. I'll take it for him no matter what, you know? So
I love that.
definitely it's not the same as just being a partner with somebody who isn't my family. And I'm sure that has goods and bads, right? Sometimes that makes problems that don't want to be his still become his problem
Right.
and vice versa. But again, that's an honor.
Yeah,
That's
same.
cool.
I
Yep.
would say the same, but it's like it is definitely like a marriage. So at the end of the day, it's like you get in an argument or disagreement, and you just want to try to give each other space as best you can, and then hopefully you laugh about it later on. You know, but really, like I think we've grown tremendously on that stage because again, it's the mental growth thing. I think for me, at least. Can't speak for Scott, but yeah, to go to work every day with my family is awesome because I know they got my back, whatever, you know?
Exactly.
And you guys been at it together from a young age because you grew up in the business, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we can relate with that too because we're
Yeah.
obviously brothers in business. So it's like you're speaking right to our language here.
What do
And,
you guys do?
Dan, you said it's like a
As
marriage.
far as like if you do have
Sorry?
a disagreement, do you give each other space? What do you do?
Yeah, we give each other space. But you know what? The cool thing is we get over things quick.
Yeah.
Right? If we don't
There's
agree
never a
on
grudge.
something,
Yeah.
I think that's again with the growth
And
thing,
like-
it's like you have to. What are you gonna do? Harp on things?
100%.
And then, you know,
Well-
all it does is it pent up animosity and all these things that are not going to make you
Yeah.
successful. So,
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
you know what?
And,
In many industries or in many businesses, we always hear like there's a lot of
Oh, yeah.
problems
No, I
with
know.
families working
They
together
split up.
and families split up. And a lot of people say to my brother and I'm sure you guys probably get the same thing, is like, it's so amazing to see two brothers get along so well in business and all these years. And I'm like, what's a secret? But we're just like you guys are saying, like if you get into a disagreement, you give each other space, and like a few minutes later, 20 minutes later, you're back to business. Like it's like you're fine. Even if you're getting together for a birthday at nighttime or something, like you're totally fine. It is what it is.
Maybe because
and like Danny said about growth, we wasn't always like that. You know, we did hold grudges. I did hold grudges from, you know, going day to day, or, well, last week we did this, and we're way better. Like you just said, we can do now be like 20 minutes later, or even that night, maybe be at dinner with our families. And first of all, I'm very much like this. Like I do not like talking about business while we're with our families. We always have to.
Yeah,
it's inevitable.
Yeah,
It's our whole
and
lives.
I'm the complete opposite because like I don't know. To me, it's like a game business. So it's like a game of chess. I'm like, wow, what could we do to like strategically do something? You know, I'm totally different. So, but you know, Scott could roll his eyes, and then I'll just be like, all right, I'll shut the fuck up now.
yeah, exactly. I was going to say on the part of being brothers in business, and you know, we get over it. You guys, we do. Maybe we're trained that way. Scrapping as little boys, you know, at home when your little boys scrap each other, and then you get over it. Our whole life, we're used to like confrontation, get over it, and then you go in business, it's like no problem.
You guys came up the same way we did.
Yeah. There's no grudges, and we both have the same goals and the same vision, so we're perfectly aligned.
That's the thing. We're on the
You
same
guys
bus,
the same,
right?
right?
We're going the same direction.
Yeah,
exactly. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Is there anything that drives you guys crazy about each other? Anything?
Oh, we
little
didn't
quirks?
get that one.
We skipped that one. That was the good one. Go ahead, Danny. What drives you crazy about me?
Yeah, I don't want to get into that. No, I really don't. Like, I don't really know. I mean, like, listen, I think we all have our different opinions on what, you know, key things are in business and whatnot. And sometimes I feel like Scott can look at things a little differently and not have my view. And that's like, I always think I'm right, you know, like that's something about me. I know I do. Like, I'm like, no, I know what it takes to be successful in this business. I think I have the vision, and I want everyone to share it with me. And sometimes that might lead to a disagreement. Does it drive me nuts? Hell yeah. Is he my brother? Yes. And that's the best way I can.
You know what? I can, if I could share something, I can relate to that. Like, I know what you mean. Like, sometimes I'll pre-think something through so much that by the time I present it, I already feel like it's the right way. But when you're telling your brother, it's the first time they're hearing it, maybe they got to process it a little.
This conversation.
But I've thought about it so much. It's like, no, this is amazing. This is the way it's got to be. And then you're like, if you don't give me the same energy back in that moment, it's like, what the heck,
especially if
right?
you're coming in like with that hurricane mentality where you're like, yo, I got it. And you're like,
yeah.
Definitely thinking you're right is just a trait that we have inherited from our family. It must be passed down from generation to generation. So it's a battle, and we always, and I do exactly what Greg just said about same thing like Danny said. Many times I do the same thing where I worked it all out in my brain, and I already drew the conclusion. So you guys obviously have the same thing in your head, right? And that same thing, like I didn't give you the moment to think it through like I have been doing. So
based on what you just said, I feel like we grew up the same, because it's the same with our family. Cool. You know, like it's like it's almost like we're all dominating. Like we're all dominant. Everybody in our family. Like,
or passionate in our own ways, right?
It's a passion.
Passionate. Well, it's funny because when I was leaving my house this morning, my wife said, I don't know why this came up, but she said, telling my older son who's 16 what generation he is. And then they're saying, we're generation this. And my daughter who's 10 is generation alpha. And I said, that's not fair. My generation is generation alpha, fellas. So that's all of us. We're all generation alpha. We're taking it
right.
100%.
That is us. Do you want to say something, Paulo?
No, I was going to say, if when there is a disagreement between the two of you, who usually wins? Since you're both right.
there.
We arm wrestle.
No. So like I said, how it's like a marriage. Well, even in my marriage, anytime there's a disagreement behind closed doors, I am right. You know what I mean? That's what I say to myself, at least, you know? So I would say the same thing. It's like a marriage. And every time I'm in my head, I'm like, I just totally won that shit. But again, with the growth, I will admit defeat. If I'm wrong, like you have to be a man and admit you're wrong. I think that responsibility, like even with our crew, that's the only thing I really want them to do. Because if you don't get better from your mistakes, you're not gonna ever achieve like the ultimate. So like our guys, if they screw up on a job, I don't even care. I just want them to admit that they did it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Own up to it.
Own up to it. You can't get better if you think it's the way to
Extreme
do
ownership.
it. Well, you did it wrong,
Yep.
and that's the way to do it. You're telling me? No, you're wrong.
Exactly. And I know you guys just celebrated your dad's milestone birthday recently. 75. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so what's it like working alongside your dad after all these years? Is he still very much active in the business?
Yeah.
He
Yeah, he is. He comes, he's active and like he knows how we need him. I assume he's very much like his dad and letting us take the reins.
Right.
And he'll give us his input, but he'll also give us enough rope to, as for lack of a better term, to hang ourselves, and or not, or show. Yeah, he won't let us hang ourselves, but he'll let you learn that you're either right or wrong. And I think that's a balancing act for himself too, because at the end of the day, I know we're his babies, but his baby is his business, and that's, and I can totally understand that because that's how it is in a family business. I know you guys are the same way. And our families may come at certain times what seems second to our business, but maybe that's because without our business, we don't have anything really, right?
Right.
So me and Danny, we're blessed, and just like our mother was for our dad, that she didn't give him nonsense for working late or any of these things that are required of you as a paving guy or a contractor or your own business owner. It wasn't like, oh, dad's late again, because you knew when dad came home why he was late, because you'd see that dad's been with his dad at war.
Yeah, come home looking like he had like
Exactly.
freaking tar around his eyes. Coat, man.
Like he's on the battlefield. Yeah. Yeah,
So-
that's a good point you raise there, Scott. So even in your own marriage, like you need a wife who understands and a family who understands how hard it is and the long hours and all that, right?
100%. And the sacrifice,
Mhm.
like, our families make sacrifice in the summers. We don't get to just go away whenever we want. In the winters, we do snow plowing. So you can't just book a vacation, me and Danny, on February break while every single person is away on vacation. We don't have the luxury of doing that. And our wives, thank God, they allow us to do that, right? Because all it would take is either his wife or my wife not allowing that, and I would feel that, or he would
Right.
feel that. So
Yep. Exactly.
it really is a family
affected
business.
by it.
Even the people who aren't here,
Definitely.
100%.
still here with us, right?
But it's amazing you guys have that support from your
Yeah,
spouses,
no.
because you need that. Like us guys, we need that
That's right.
in order to be able to thrive in this world, right? We just need to have a clear mind and
Without doubt,
know that
like,
our spouses have our backs.
I would say,
Yep.
yeah,
Getting that buy-in from
they're definitely a part of the success of Huntington Paving as well.
that's
Amazing.
beautiful, man.
When you guys both stepped into partnership together, like when you guys realized or you guys took over and took the reins, what changed in the business? What do you feel that changed in the business?
Well,
when you
I
guys
wanted
grabbed a
to
hold of
just
it?
stop you there because we are third partners with our father, so we didn't really grab the reins, I guess, so to speak. But we,
Okay.
I would say that I've always been kind of like, all right, again, sharing a vision. My dad totally shares the vision with both of us as well. So it's like, but I've always kind of been that way. If there's a key piece of equipment we think we need or something, kind of doing the same thing now, except for implementing some things that are going to definitely take us to the next level and get better, just overall better, quicker, faster.
Awesome. All right. So, and what excites you guys most about where Huntington Paving is headed over the next decade, the next 10 years?
Well, I mean, Danny had touched on about us, being like, what changed when you took ownership, and honestly, nothing at all personally. And I think same thing for Danny, to be honest. Whether he knows that or not, I see that in him. But we always act like we own the business. It was always Huntington Paving is a family-owned business. That was how it always was. I actually tell people that I know that may not have what they want today or trying to get what they want, and that, well, just keep putting one foot in front of the other. Act as if whatever you want, you better act it like it is that way, and it will be.
Yeah.
And you attract it.
And we always did that. We always did do that.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah,
Nothing has changed at all.
that's perfect. Like, no matter what stage we were, whatever stage we were at in our careers, Tamper guy, roller man, like we always looked at every job like it was our own 100%. Otherwise, I don't even think we
Love
would be
that.
where we are today.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
we were labor.
Yeah, and then what's changed, like, now in your vision of going forward 10 years? I'll be honest and say, like, it was only, maybe 10 years ago that I had the same thoughts of maybe that of my grandfather, of like, I was just getting through one day to the next to make a living for my family. And now, in the last 10 years, 100%, whether it be, people that are important to you pass away in your life. Sorry to get emotional. But then you start to think, what is going to be our legacy? What are people going to think about us when we're not here? And so, again, luckily, we have had the people that came before us and started this business, and I have the luxury to think of myself like, all right, well, what is Huntington Paving going to mean when I'm not even here?
Yeah.
And that is a luxury.
Love that, man. Thank you for sharing that passion.
Yeah,
Back in the early days, reputation and word of mouth carried everything. Obviously, the industry doesn't look the same as it did in 1957. How has the way you guys attract and win work changed from your grandfather's and your dad's era to today?
I could tell you the one thing that didn't change, because this will pretty much answer everything. So what didn't change was like word of mouth. We still have that reputation of Huntington Paving does it right the first time. And I mean, what did change? Everything. Like, there was no social media, there was no internet. I mean, like, what
Yeah.
are we talking about? Everything changed. But yeah, Scott, you take it from there. I mean,
yeah. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind of what changed is definitely technology, the internet.
Mhm.
I mean, we're in a day and age that we could have 70 years or coming on to 70 years doing blacktop, but if our website's not looking up to date and showing that information, which before we got up with you guys, it wasn't. And then you could have a guy that might started his business this winter, and if his website is designed better and shows his story better than yours, then you're competing against a guy that started in the winter and you have 70 years doing blacktop. So the internet technology has sort of leveled the playing field, I think, for people that are new to the businesses.
100%.
That's a good point.
That's the
Yeah.
biggest change that I've
You
seen.
guys been around for 70 years. Someone
As far as closing and stuff, though, Scott, do you have anything to add there?
As far as what?
Like closing, like wasn't that like question about like close? Yeah, I mean, I would say that it was mostly word of mouth back then. I mean, there was not much advertising. Actually,
people used to knock on doors
know
back
what
then
book
more
it
too,
was in.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
now
I mean,
Now how's that? You not
you don't knock on somebody's door anymore.
don't walk up to a door.
I might have some door knockers going out soon, man. Don't knock it till you try.
Yeah. Well, if you put a door hanger, maybe they'll call you as opposed to knocking on the door, right? Now they got the cameras
right,
that
exactly.
signal their phones.
Oh,
and
that's
yeah. Who's at the door, right?
Man, those cameras, speaking of, they like, I wake up early, I go check job sites, and I had to get permission the other day for residential. Just like, hey, I'm an early one. I gotta go here, go there. I don't want them to get alerted that like some weirdos on their property at 6 a.m, you know?
Right.
But yeah, those things wake you up, like they're hell.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for that. So, what's the crews look like for you guys out in the field? Like, how's that break down? Do you have a paving crew, and a seal coating crew? What's that look like?
Usually, we try to it kind of changes weekly, unless
Yep.
we're on a big project. If it's a big project, it's all hands on deck. Sometimes we'll run a 3-man crew, doing setup, some seal coat, whatever it like, curb stops. Like, it could be anything, installing bollards, things like that, while the commercial side is still running as well. This year, we would really like to get our feet wet with running a full-time second crew. That's something that we're talking about internally, and I think we'll figure it out. You know.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
He got it.
You got like a big crew going on in a commercial project, but there's always something else to do, whether it's a patch or a pothole or bollards, like you said. There's always something else to get out and get done, right?
Yeah. So mostly we run one main crew
Mm-hmm.
because we usually have big projects going on, and then like right now we're getting to the spring's just starting to roll around here. It's not even till it's only officially winter's over, I think, while we're on this call.
Awesome.
And
Finally.
yeah, thank God. and we're ready for that to come. But the work that's around right now is emergency
Yep.
stuff, making the parking lot safe that people could even drive through them without getting a flat tire
Yeah.
right now.
Bad.
So obviously at this point it's New York. Most people are not working. We're just trying to keep our guys that everybody's getting paid some money at this point.
Yep.
And so we got crews separated going
Yeah.
everywhere right now.
Whatever's needed, right? I know
And
coming
then-
out of the winter, there's a
Yeah.
lot of like winter repairs
Yeah.
going into the spring and getting
That's
that
exactly right.
stuff, potholes done and getting all that stuff done before the big parking lot reconstruction and overlays and all that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
All right. So just some quick questions here. Job you ever worked in the company?
First job I ever worked in the company.
The first
Sure.
job you ever worked in the company. Can you remember that far
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
that stood out to you?
Yeah, it was
Today.
I want to say it was like one of those projects where, like, you're saying, like, when I was a young kid,
When you were a
Oh,
kid,
yeah, we
like
were
the first
blowing off-
jobs you got out
blowing
there.
off
Position.
and we
Your position, not the
Oh.
job.
position.
What did you? What was it? Yeah. What were you responsible for?
First position, and that goes with everybody that starts with us, is you're a tamper man. And you might want to shovel as a kid, and you don't know how to shovel, and you have to be told. And this has happened to me as a kid, being told by the old men, grab the shovel out of your hand and push you out of the pile.
Wow.
Because that's just, and guess what? As a little kid, being perfectly bluntly honest, I remember being at my dad's house, paving his driveway. I was just out there trying to help, but I was probably in the way of the real guys doing the work. I had a shovel. I was in the blacktop. I think Gary grabbed the shovel and pushed me out of the way, or maybe it was my cousin Kenny. And I went and started crying in the bush.
I want to call.
I was all upset that I felt he's going to call my cousin when we get off the phone. But I remember that. And I remember another time being 19 or so and being in our yard here. And I was all dressed like I am right now. So beautiful. And I had a nice collar shirt on or whatever. And my dad said to me, like, hey, that truck, the guys didn't unload it. You got to hop up there and unload that truck. And I said to my dad, I said, no, Dad, look, I'm dressed. I have a meeting in an hour. I'm not doing, I don't have clothes for that. He's like, let me tell you something. When you ever come to work, you bring a change of clothes or don't come.
No fluff, eh? Straight to the point. Straight to the point.
So I ruined those shoes, get up there and empty that truck.
Yeah. I was gonna ask that. Was your dad tough on you guys when you were younger? Your dad or foreman or whoever?
Somewhat. I mean, again, he just wanted you, if you're on a job, you're working. You know, you're not the owner's son standing around like watching everybody else work.
Yep.
That's right.
Like very early. I mean, again, I started on tamper. I could shovel, rake, do everything, broom, like, cause you don't do one job. You do like you do those 4 things when you're coming up, you know? And then I graduated to a roller. I was the lead roller guy. Then one time the paver operator left. I could run a road grader too. I learned a road grader pretty young. And then one of our lead paver guys left, and I was like, oh shit, I guess I'm the next man on deck. So I jumped right into that, and I've been running a paver 10 years now. No, 11 now.
Awesome.
It's crazy.
I was gonna
Goes quick.
yeah, the time flies, right?
Sure
That did
does.
feel like it was yesterday, just for the record.
Yeah.
So with that being said, do either of you have a favorite piece of equipment when you were out in the field? Like, what's your favorite? Is it, whether it be a piece of equipment or a brand? I don't know if you want to get to a brand, but whatever you. What is
No,
that?
I mean, for me, it's the paver because
Yep.
I just love it. I don't know. Like even like when we do get somebody probably to run the paver one day, that's gonna be a sad day for me because I do love it. Um, Also, I love the road grader, but it gets so repetitive that I kind of like, I love a few days on it. Like last year, we don't use them all the time anymore because now mill and pave, you pretty much, you mill it, you pave it. Sometimes you don't even need to grade it. So you might have to level, but I love getting in that thing. But if you're in that thing a lot of the times of the year, it's like, it's so especially when your ground guys aren't like putting you on grade over by the curbs and then they got to clean the curb line. It's a nightmare, but that machine is awesome. I love it for a few days. Scott
Awesome.
has to be the striper, right?
Yeah, I mean, no. I would think like maybe for me, I like getting on a roller. Uh, and honestly, maybe thinking about it now, maybe it brings me back to my youth of like, always being on the roller. I guess that's my favorite thing to be on. It's because I don't know, you could watch everybody. It's almost like watching a symphony when we're paving. That's what it feels like as especially now as like it's my dad's company, it's our company, but to watch. It definitely gives you like the bird's eye view.
Yeah.
Definitely
From the
does.
roll and behind the paving crew, you watching, and you could,
That's
nice
that's
feeling.
when
nice.
I'm on
Yeah,
the
we were-
paver and I'm not supposed to look back, and I still have to look back all the time, and that's the shit that drives me nuts.
telling me I missed a spot. He's telling me I missed a spot, and I'm like telling him you're supposed to go forward.
This way, hit it this way.
They on the topic of roller, we were at Pavex a couple months ago in New Orleans, and they were doing a roller derby
I saw
outside.
It was like a rodeo
Yeah,
of
it
some
looks
sort.
like
They were
it.
like actually racing
Well,
them.
They were racing, right? Trying to get the
raced them,
best
like,
time.
not against each other, but they just
Yeah,
who did the fastest
saw
lap.
that video.
But they made it very like intricate. You had
That's
to
so
turn.
cool.
Some guys had to like do a 3-point turn and try to get like it was like they were going.
That's interesting.
That's awesome.
We
We got to get in next year.
Yeah.
We'll probably be at World of Asphalt. I don't think I'll make both shows, but my goal was actually to do Pavex this year because I didn't think I would do Connex, and then I got like a late invite to Connex, and I was just like, it wasn't gonna work. But now, in hindsight, me and Scott are kicking ourselves in the ass so bad. I wanted to see all that. See that
Yeah,
cat truck? That's
Yes.
it was wild.
Yes, the
Yeah,
pickup.
pickup.
pickup?
That it's never gonna come
So
out. They
fucking
made
seeing it.
one of one, but I'm like, imagine
Was it?
like
Was
that's
it?
mine.
Yeah, it was like a prototype.
No, it's just
I didn't see it at the
I don't
show,
know,
but
but
I've
I
been
want
seeing it
that
online.
one.
no. They made one, and it's never gonna come out. They took a F450, and the whole reason why they did it, they wanted to show, I believe, the interface of how, I guess, CatLink or whatever works. I guess that's like a mobile device, GPS coordinates, and all that crazy stuff. I think I don't know.
It looks really
Yeah.
cool, and like, why not? Cat has such a market share in the construction world. Why not make a
I
pickup?
mean,
they
they
make all
should.
this heavy duty equipment.
Yeah.
I'm sure they know how to make.
Maybe they could get Ford to act
Right?
together if they teamed up. You know what I mean? They wouldn't need another.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's not ask
Yeah.
for any miracles.
All right, fun question here. Coffee or energy drinks on the job? What do you guys
Black
prefer?
coffee.
Or water?
I drink 2 of these
Coffee.
a day.
Black, no sugar?
2 McDonald's coffees, 32
Yeah.
ounces a day. That's on average day. And with some Splenda. That's it. And then an energy drink
That's
once in
it.
a while.
Yeah.
I start the day with a coffee, and then it depends. In the summer, I actually like black hot coffee, and sometimes even like a red eye, which is a shot of espresso in the black coffee.
Yeah.
So
So you drink black coffee. You like black coffee in the summer, and Danny, you're drinking an iced coffee right now.
I drink ice year round. Even during the blizzards, I was drinking iced coffee. It stays cold. Like my veins.
Like sometimes in the summer, my wife's like, "You want me to make a soup?" I go, "It's summer. I don't want soup. Make it in the winter."
Yeah.
That's-
People put on so much weight in the winter, they're drinking that creamy soup.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
I'm drinking an energy drink right
What are
now.
you
Oh,
drinking?
nice.
First form.
Oh, there you go.
So we asked a
Nice.
real
Yeah,
question: is
get the
coffee
plug
or
in, Scott.
Awesome.
What
No, I
say?
was just going to
Oh.
say, we're almost done with the questions here. This has been a fantastic time. Most chaotic job site moment that you can laugh about now? Was there anything that stands out to you guys? Chaotic, but something to laugh about now.
Well, yeah, I have one. So last year we bought this whole lighting system, and our new paver didn't come with the plug-in, so I bought a inverter. And all of a sudden, I start getting like weird things on the screen for the Lee Boy, and it was like, I guess we're drawing too much energy from this source or whatever. And it was like going on the fritz, and the lights went off. Then the paver, I turned off the paver. I was like, oh, why did I do that? I have flow boys on deck. We're nighttime paving. We had about 1,000 tons to put down ahead of us, and 5 trucks were loaded, and a hopper full of pavement. So, just very briefly, we paved without lights for a minute. Had somebody go to the yard, get the inverter gasoline, tied it to the thing, but we paved a little bit in the dark. We moved some light towers
Wow.
around. But man, I didn't think
Yep.
that paper was going to start up again with a full hopper and like wings and the extensions, mountains in front of it. I'm like, oh, and we got it going. Those little NOCO boosters, by the way, those are
helping you
the
guys.
best. One, it was on 15 seconds, turn over, start up diesel machines,
Awesome.
no problem.
It's funny that Danny says that because that.
And also the fires, right,
Oh
Scott?
God. Well, in construction, no day is without its surprises, I would say. And it's funny that Danny says that about the lights going out, and he keeps paving, but the way that the operation, what's amazing about it is when that happens, and it's me or my dad pulling a light tower to the right spot, and maybe not us, but all our guys. So when a catastrophe does happen, everybody on our team is figuring out their next role that you didn't sign up for and you didn't know you had it until right this second. Whether it was Andy that night running back to our yard to go get the lights that we need now to rig something to work for the rest of the night. So it's definitely 100% always a next man up mentality.
Right.
And then I have a funny story about chaotic
Can I just say something there?
for you guys.
Just
go ahead.
so
Go.
nobody's looking at
Yeah,
what was in
pop
their
in.
job description at that point. They're just jumping in and helping whatever it takes. That's not part of my.
That's exactly right.
That's not part of my
100%.
role. No one's saying that. They're just helping.
No,
That's awesome.
no, there is no.
If
There's
they
nothing
have
that's
that
not part of your role.
mentality,
If they have that,
they're out the door very briefly.
beautiful.
They won't have a career
Yep.
here.
Well said, man.
My chaotic story is from when we were kids. We're not like this anymore, just to be clear.
Yep.
But we're paving a place in Hopog, huge job, and at that time, one of the bigger jobs probably our company has ever done. We're just little kids on the rollers and working this summertime when we're not in school. And I'm on the roller, and everybody's at lunch inside the cafeteria of this building. And all of a sudden, as I'm rolling, we're paving loading docks, and one of them borders a building next door. And the truck driver pulls up, and he said, "I got to get in that loading dock." I said, "Sir, the building's closed today. Those loading docks can't be used." And he said, "I'm driving there no matter what." And then now he's like threatening me, sort of. I'm maybe 16 years old, and I'll kick your ass, kid, and this and that. So I'm like, okay, no problem, but you can't drive there. And then at the time we have Nextels. So I boop my cousin and my older brother.
Yeah.
They're inside the cafeteria, and I'm like, boop, boop, James, Kenny, this guy's truck driver out here. He's threatening me and Andy, who's an older guy that works for us, and he's telling us he's going to kick our asses and drive all over the blacktop. And within 30 seconds, around both sides of that building, our whole crew is running out, whether from this side and that side, to this guy. My Andy hops up on the guy's trailer, disconnects his air brakes, so he can't go anywhere. And my cousin has a propane bottle, raising it above his head, telling him, "I'll blow us all up." And I'm like, "Let's not do that. Let's not do that." And a long story short, that guy got his face punched in, didn't drive anywhere. The cops came to he thinks the cops are coming to defend him, and he gets arrested on the spot.
Wow.
So things have changed drastically in the last 20 years.
Oh, yeah.
But that's
He's
a
got
story.
a smartphone nowadays.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
that's funny. That's a good one.
At least you guys handled it and stopped him from what he was about to do, right?
Yeah, Andy's the man.
That's exactly right. I think that guy didn't have a job when he was done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool because you had the whole team come out like a brotherhood.
There's nothing that could make you feel any better than that. I honestly, it's an embarrassing story because it's like, obviously as a business, that's not what we want to be. But at the end of the day, long story short, don't fuck with blacktop guys.
Yeah, that was also like that mind state back then is totally different. You know what I mean? Like there weren't no there wasn't a camera on every block.
No.
And sometimes you could get your ass kicked, and that was what you needed.
Yep. Yeah, it was different back then.
Missed those.
It was different. It wasn't about people's smartphone video recording or online reviews. It was just handle it in the moment, however you want to handle it. Anything goes. Yeah. Anyhow.
Well, don't think less of us after that.
No,
No, why? To me, you guys are you were protecting the pavement. You're
That's exactly right. This is going to be a smooth
protecting the
service.
pavement. Why
no
is that
matter
bad?
what.
You're doing it for your customer. You're like soldiers.
Thank you, Greg.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right.
You had to get it done right, and you kept your tagline in your mind, right?
We do what we say we're going to do.
And if this guy messed it up, you wouldn't be able to deliver on time.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Guys, in 30 years from now, what do you hope people say about Huntington Paving?
That'll be 100 years.
30 years from now, I hope that anybody who's worked for us has been able to further their life, accomplish goals that they set forth for themselves. I hope that they can grow within our business. I hope that anybody who works for us, I think that anybody who does work for us now, I know this for sure, and it has worked for us in the past, like we're a family business. So the same thing is to be said, like what I said to you about Danny has something going on at home. Well, our guys know that if they have something going on at home, we need to know about it. We are family. We care about their families. If somebody gets hurt, we're with them till the I don't want to say death. What we are, our guys are our guys. We're a team.
That's amazing.
Yeah, well,
That's what I want to be known about Huntington Paving forever is first off, we love our communities. We want to do good for people around us. We do care about everything, even things we should just not care about, probably.
Yep.
And that's it. I hope we're making our grandfather proud, and I know we're making our dad proud.
100%.
I'm sure you guys are. It's amazing.
Love that.
And it's amazing because it's not just your family business, but you guys are including everybody in the company as part of your family and treat them like that. It's amazing.
Well, our guys
Because
are.
we will not accomplish anything without our
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, that's facts. We could bring in all the work in the world, and you can't accomplish it without our guys. And our guys are like the backbone of this company, and that's 100%.
I love that. Well said. And if you're listening to this and you need asphalt paving or asphalt maintenance services in the Long Island area, definitely reach out to Huntington Paving. These guys are awesome, and this business has been around for 70 years. They definitely know what they're doing, and you can see the passion coming through in this podcast episode.
Well, thank you for that. And also, I want to say about you guys, same be said for asphalt marketing. You know, like Danny said, our business is always word of mouth, and definitely you guys have definitely elevated us to be me for sure, to be thinking about my business in a different way, which is good. And also, like I had said before, you've showed our story online of the longevity of our company. I think you did a great job showing our story. So anybody that wants marketing for asphalt, you guys 100% need to talk to these guys. They are the best in the business. It's not a question.
Thank you. I really appreciate
Thank
that,
you.
Scott.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Danny.
Thank you.
We appreciate that.
Do you have one more question as we
Thanks,
end
guys.
off here?
You know what, guys? Before we wrap up, it's one more thing. Like for the younger contractors coming up, or the ones that are striving to get to that next level, what do you believe matters most?
I think, again, consistency, integrity, building relationships, and doing what you say you're going to do. Follow through is like the most important thing. And also just being transparent. Communication is key. All those things build a good business or a business man. So, war woman.
Yep.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go back to what we said all along. And that's like, instead of trying to serve yourself, try to serve other people. Try to make a better job for the people that are around you. Those people will grow you. If you try to solve your customers' problems, those people are going to grow you. They're going to recommend you to other people that have problems. And I know it, like our human nature is to like put our wallets first, but you have to not put your wallet first I'm sure that sounds, if somebody is new and they're like, well, that's easier said than done. If you operate with your wallet in the front part of your mind at all times, then you're going to fail.
Yep.
Well, especially
That's my
as
strong
a
belief.
startup too, you know, like
Yeah.
sometimes we do have the luxury of being able to not think with our wallet because we have been successful and we've been around a long time. But if you're starting up, you're young, you're new, you think the wrong way, you're going to fail. Just like,
Yep.
you know, all these restaurants that go under within like the first 3 years,
Yeah.
blacktop, the guys around us pop up like weeds. So they come and go, we stay here.
That's it.
I agree with that statement 100%, because if you're doing it for the money, I always say this to people, if you're doing it for the money, you're not going to be successful. You have to have like passion. You have to like do it for every other reason. The money's just going to come.
The money will
100%.
follow. Do the
Yeah.
good work first.
And also
Exactly.
based on what
That's
you guys
exactly right.
just said, you know, the integrity, the consistency, the relationships, all that type of stuff. Basically, we asked you earlier about like how things were back then till now, what's changed in terms of attracting new business and whatever. But on those core principles, it's the same as it always has been.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Business is built on relationships. We just have the technology today to do it differently, to get it out there differently, but it's always built on the relationships, the reputation that you guys have, stuff like that. For sure is what's gonna.
I agree.
Thank you,
Gentlemen,
guys.
That wraps up this episode. Thank you so much for your time today. I know you guys are busy guys. You got a lot of things to do, and sharing your story here really means a lot. We really appreciate you.
Really appreciate
And
you.
we're looking forward to getting this. Thank you, man. Looking forward to getting this out across the asphalt industry, and another piece of history here from Huntington Paving.
Thank you, guys.
I'm honored to be on a show called Blacktop Legends. I think our grandfather's the real Blacktop legend. My dad's a real Blacktop legend. Jim Brown, he's the man, and we wouldn't be here without him.
You know what? And Scott and Danny Brown are legends as well. All right, you guys are the next legends. I talk to you guys, to other people, just like from other states, and I'm like, these are the coolest guys. They really know what they're doing out there, and you guys are truly Blacktop legends as well. So,
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
okay, thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Have a good day. Bye.